conversation. Hello, Internet. We are live. I haven't opened the meeting. Bill and Cheryl are probably on the other end of this thing going, hey, guys, what about us?
I'd recommend possibly AARP.
Oh, yeah?
One with Humana and...
Well, it's funny. I just signed up.
We could buy it now.
Oh, good. These people have gotten into the meeting without us.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. Hello, folks. Oh, and we didn't look at that view. That view is horrible. Can we have some
Oh, wait,
curtains?
look at, hang on. Hang on.
Oh, you're on. That's who's on.
We're on. Yeah, we're here.
We're here, we're live, we're recording. Hello, everyone.
Emmy's with us too. Yeah, it's on.
Oh.
I don't know.
Hello?
Oh, you know what? Maybe the meat's set to the wrong mic. Let's make sure that's not a problem.
But then what's the role of
No,
AARP?
it's set to the right mic. Meat's set to the right
What's the
mic.
role of AARP?
Speakers are set. Hello, Cheryl, Chester,
Cheryl
Bill.
is on.
Cheryl.
Good morning.
Good morning.
But there's a few
Emily and I are here with Jim and
That's the only
Jim.
one I remember. Hello.
Hola, guys.
Let's see if we can get this other camera going. There we go. We didn't test anything. We ate breakfast
Yeah, I
and
know.
chatted with
I'll
Jim. We
give
didn't
him
do
a call.
any of the things we were supposed to do to get ready.
And I said,
Somebody's
we're gonna
trying to
switch
get in.
next
Mina's
year,
trying to get in.
'cause,
Guys, my grandma's here. We have to shave
that's
ourselves. Yeah,
for Humana for us.
What do you mean? She wants to bring us the foul language.
Everything with you.
Hello, Mom.
Hello.
Welcome.
Cheryl's back.
Cheryl's back with us. Excellent.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Cheryl.
We've got Jim and Jim in.
Buenos dias.
Good morning,
I got it.
Chester.
Chester. See Bill.
Yeah.
Bill,
Well, you
Cheryl,
have that.
Chester, and Mina online, and it's Jim, Emily, and myself here in Tequila's. Welcome, good morning. This is the San Carlos Computer Club. We meet every Tuesday at 10 in Tequila's to talk tech and share tech news and try and solve each other's tech problems. So welcome. Thank you for joining us.
I think that's it.
Jim
My
and Jim
wife-
are in
I'm waiting to
deep
get my
conversation
new
over
car.
here. What do you guys got going on? We had been talking about healthcare earlier because of Emily's broken arm situation.
Nearly over.
Nearly over. In a week, she will have it removed.
Long nightmare.
Yay!
Yay. Yay. Thank you, Mina. For the
I mean,
excitement.
signal.
Yeah.
Huh?
There's no, like we explained before, it's a splint. It's wrapped in bandage.
It's
Oh,
not
just
really
bandage.
Yeah, it's just wrapped in bandage. Watch that shot.
I'm watching.
Oh.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah, which direction are we going?
We're going where we can't see Jim.
What if we?
All right.
How's that?
We can't see us, but we can see those two incredibly.
Oh yeah. Well, they're the stars today.
You can
Okay,
see
well
me
we
in the
shifted
post
it,
office.
and now we can't see one of them very well.
Damn it. Damn it. That.
That's great.
Awesome. That works.
It's kind of hard to see you guys there, but did I hear that we
We're
have
right
Jim?
here.
Right here.
Okay, well you're right there, but you're a tiny little picture like this. Could everybody just do a roll call, please, and give me your name?
Well, it's Jim and Emily and myself, the four of us here, and then the three of you, the four of you online. And we're looking forward to seeing Bill and Cheryl this weekend with our Tio Sid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You guys are going this weekend.
Yeah, we're doing the music festival and staying with Bill and Cheryl. We're pretty excited about it.
I went to my first performance yesterday of the FAOT.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a very interesting performance. I put a little thing of it on my Facebook page, but it was sort of Shakespeare, sort of mime, sort of interpretive dance. It was very, very, very interesting, and about 20 minutes too long. But it was cool.
About 20 minutes too long.
I've been there.
Well, Chester's already got his hand up, and that's what we're interested in. As usual, I have sent out a document to kind of spark interest in topics, but I'm more interested in what topics you guys have. So as I drop this chat, this link to the document in our chat, why don't we listen to what's Chester's question?
I have a serious problem.
Okay.
I was in Photoshop yesterday, and I was using two different scanners, and either one of them that I used would lock up my computer, and I would have to turn the computer off, and then I went back to Photoshop and tried to put a picture into Photoshop, and it locked up again.
Oh,
As a matter of fact,
like
it
your
locks
scanner.
up every time you use it.
This
And,
sounds like your computer.
I don't know if it's mechanical or software.
You say it locks up?
Do
Do you get that black screen of death? The new black screen of death?
No, it just locks up. It locks up the program that I'm in. I can't move the arrow. I can't. Nothing works.
So what are you doing to
And
get out of that situation, Chester?
I took what do you call it? Took the Photoshop program off the computer. I unwound it and reinstalled it, and it still does it.
So, Chester, your computer is working when you're not using Photoshop?
It works with other things, yes. It works with other programs.
You know, there was a really weird Windows update that caused all kinds of problems from the 13th of this month. And I brought an article talking about they've had to release another emergency. This is the second emergency release update for Windows 11. That is, and
yeah, I saw that, but that has been updated. It happened yesterday because I'm having to turn the computer off and restart it. Then the update was automatically loaded.
And so I wonder if this isn't more fallout from that. How long have you had this problem?
It just started yesterday.
Photoshop. Yeah, we just got the update 2 days ago.
It happened this morning, actually, again.
While the primarily widely reported and officially documented fixes concerned Adobe InDesign file corruption. As part of a series of patches aimed at restoring stability. It's interesting that there is definitely a Photoshop element to the issues they were having with that update.
I'm having trouble hearing you, but you're saying that the issue that Microsoft has relates to Adobe?
Yeah, it's a. I mean, this is just a cursory scan of this. This is the update that was just released. There is a summary here from an AI overview, if you can trust that. But what it's doing is summarizing. In fact, let's look at this link that it's summarizing. InDesign damaged files. Yeah, Adobe. I don't use InDesign, but they're saying that after this update, not the most recent one, but the one on the 13th, they had file corruption of their Adobe system. I mean, I'm just summarizing from a headline.
Well, as late as this morning, I had to shut the computer down. And if there was an upgrade, I should have gotten it this morning.
Yeah, well,
but I didn't.
My only thought would be, I mean, if you got it, it would have come, it seems like let's see, when did this one come out? I was just looking at this last night. This came out on the 24th, so this would have been 3 days ago. It would have been made available as early as 3 days ago. And
Well,
you be able to see it.
my computer hasn't been turned off. You know, you don't really turn it off when you turn it off.
Well,
it
if
stays.
you, like me, I discovered the update simply by looking at Windows updates, and I saw it sitting there on the screen. Do I have a screen view here? Yeah. I went into settings and under Windows updates, and right at the top, I saw that update, and it was odd to me because I knew it was out of cycle. It wasn't when I was expecting to see an update, and that's why I started paying attention to what it was.
The fact that it's Adobe has got to be related to my problem then.
It feels like it, but first, okay, let's see, update Photoshop. I'm hoping I can get more, because I'm really not giving you much good information because it's all coming from an AI overview. So like we can't trust it, right? It could just be making crap up.
Hallucinate.
Yeah. Chester, what version of Photoshop are you using? Are you doing the Creative Suite subscription?
Well, I'll give you two of it. I apparently had two programs on my computer, CS5 and CS6. I have been using CS6 because I didn't have the code for CS5. And so I've been using CS6, and it's CS6 that's given me the problem. But this morning, I decided I would get rid of CS5 that's on my computer. And when I tried to get rid of it, the computer froze.
The computer froze when you were trying to uninstall it?
Yes, the computer froze when I was trying to uninstall CS5, which I don't use.
Well, then I'm back to thinking it's a computer problem. That like,
why only Adobe?
I don't, yeah, but if you're doing an uninstall, that isn't necessarily specifically Adobe. I mean, you're uninstalling Adobe files, but the uninstall process.
Well, the only file I was trying to uninstall was an Adobe file, which is CS5.
Sure, but the act of uninstall is built into Windows. It's an uninstaller, which is a generic application. It's only related to Adobe in that it's installing and uninstalling Adobe software. But the act of uninstalling or installing isn't, you wouldn't associate that with a problem with the application Photoshop. It's like having two different vehicles.
When I'm through here, I will find another program to uninstall to see if I can uninstall it. And if it uninstalls with no problem, then I know it has to do with Adobe.
Okay, and to add,
the only other thing I did is I changed my.
Chester.
I changed my.
Just to add to the nuance of this issue, there are more than one uninstall installer programs out there. Microsoft has their own version, but just about every developmental developer environment has its own installer. And so you're actually looking, your test to be most accurate would be to identify the kind of installer that Adobe's using and then test that with another. But I think what you should do is just generally use your system. You're using it right now, right?
Yeah.
We're on it right now. Hey, what has happened? All our microphones.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, it's working normally,
This is on.
and I was able.
Hello.
That one's on.
Hello.
Wow, that's weird.
The batteries went dead.
I don't know. Maybe I forgot to turn them on. Maybe you've been hearing me in the.
light was on.
It was on.
Yeah.
it lights.
All right. Well, maybe these aren't such great $40 Temu microphones. We'll see what happens if it continues to work. Chester.
Hmm?
So sorry about that. We had our own technical glitch here for a second. But the thought being, what you're describing of this freezing with both the uninstall and the program leads me to believe there's something funky in the computer doing it, not necessarily a Photoshop thing. So I feel like that's what you're trying to test. Just
Well, what I'll do is I'll do another test when we're done this morning. I will uninstall a different program to see if it happens again.
look at that.
Man.
I bet the only mic that's on right now is the one that wasn't used last.
Never charged them.
Well, I brought them home, and you know what I didn't do is I didn't check them. I should have checked them. That's what I was talking about when I came in. I shouldn't even have been talking about it.
Come to try Revo and uninstall it.
Well, it's not the act of uninstalling that's the problem. It's the act of the computer freezing that's the problem.
Yeah, but you wanted to uninstall the program to reinstall it. Revo goes through and checks all your registries and everything else.
Okay, this is a good suggestion from Jim, is to use a uninstaller that its full intention is to remove all aspects of the previous software. Assuming that the previous software is leaving behind something that might be corrupted, and it's being, when you go to reinstall it, you still have that problem. What's the name of this uninstaller?
Revo.
Revo, R-E-V-O, uninstaller.
And you don't need the Pro because it does it all.
You can do it with the free version.
Oh, yeah.
Revo uninstaller. I'm bringing it up right now. Jim swears by it. And what it should do is it should dig through the system, pulling out every instance of Photoshop.
It does.
It should leave you with a blank slate so that you can try installing it again. Now, I really
Yeah,
want
but
you
the
to...
problem,
What's
the
that?
problem occurred before I reinstalled the program.
I understand, but you would do this kind of action because you would be making the assumption that the uninstall that you're doing is not removing the damaged files that are causing your problem. They're leaving them behind. And I want to mention, this kind of uninstaller is going to dig into the registry. These kinds of activities could cause a problem if you've already got a problem. And so the health of the computer is of my biggest concern.
SFC scan now.
Well, that for the check, the system check.
It would check the system.
Yeah. But I think what you should do is you should bring up the reliability manager. Got to spell it right. There we go. Oh, I just had it. Here we go. The reliability history. And you can pull that up. I don't know if you're looking at my screen or not, but you can pull that up by clicking on the start menu and typing RELI, and you'll get a
I'm
blue
sorry,
flag.
typing what?
RELI. I think that's what it is. I think I forgot to charge this. RELY, and if you look at my screen, Chester, you'll see it. What you'll get as a result will be a blue flag that says View Reliability History. And if you bring that up, it's going to be a. Let me switch to my laptop monitor here. This is what we're talking about. Oh no, I'm exposing myself. Can you see that? This is over time your the reliability of your computer. It shows you red marks, red check marks in the places where it's crashed or has had problems. And so you can go back through this and try and associate what might be causing a problem. DLL host. As I click on each one of these, if you're watching my screen, it's showing me the critical event. It's showing me what stopped working, what the issue, what had an issue. And so you should be able to see those freezes of Photoshop show up in this reliability history. What you might discover is something else is freezing up at the same time, or it's not just Photoshop. It's a number of different things. And I would say if it's a number of different things, you've got a different problem to solve than fixing Photoshop. The Photoshop is suffering a symptom of a bigger problem, if that makes sense. I hope that's helpful.
Well, I think what I'll do is leave you for now. Go try to do that and come back later.
Yeah, just use the reliability history. I'm writing just a note here in our document. View reliability history. You can search for it under the start button. And if you got a bunch of red flags in this, then I would be concerned about doing anything other than solving those problems first, because it would be indicating there's something bigger happening than just the Photoshop problem. If you got a bunch of red flags in there and you look at each one and every one of them is a Photoshop problem, then you know that it's Photoshop you're trying to resolve.
Okay, see you later.
All right, Chester, good luck to you. I didn't mean to drive you off, though. Well, fine. We've got one less person today.
Chester, I think Chester came in specifically for that answer.
That must be what he was looking for. It's everything he didn't know he wanted. And I'm going to put Jim's recommended a Vivo uninstaller because these are great tools. Revel. R-E-V-O. Revel. Copy. Did I say Revel? Revo. I know why, because of Reva Williams.
I don't know who that is.
That's okay. That's okay. Doesn't matter. But I will put a link in that uninstaller on our document for recommended tools. Recommended. Some things are always recommended, so they stay in this list. Well, that was a great start. Does anybody else have any topics they want to bring up? Don't all speak at once.
Can we read the article about
Scott, your microphone, or maybe it's just the phone connection is breaking up really badly. It's kind of hard to hear and stuff.
This is Brent Blinking Red. We brought these microphones from Temu again, and apparently I did not charge them. I'm a bad man. How about this? Is that doable? Can you hear that okay?
I can hear you quite fine right now, but it's not just in microphone. I think it must be connection issues. It's probably on our end. We will be researching, and Bill will be talking to you while you're here this weekend about purchasing Starlink, and we'll see if we can't get a better internet connection. But it's hard to keep track of what's going on.
You're thinking that your issues on your end with your internet connection. I guess.
Okay, so I think I'm going to log off. Working on a few things here. I don't see Sid at the meeting. When's he coming?
He'll be here on Thursday. We'll pick him up, and then he'll stay the night, and then we'll all head down and see you guys.
Okay. Well, we'll
Yeah.
see you on Friday.
I think right
And
now it's,
I think Chris.
I think right now it's Sid, Jose Luis, Sony, and me, Yuya, and the kids.
Yeah, I got a message from you this morning.
Oh, awesome.
And I think, like, Christine's not there, but Christine and her husband are coming down on the bus next Tuesday, I think.
Oh, nice.
So,
Oh,
yeah, they're going to be here with the Mark Mulligan trip next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So,
But Jim has jumped on, so we have a Doppler effect happening in here. No, it's not actually Doppler. We've got an echo going on.
good morning, Mr. Cunningham.
not until we have a third jet.
Well, great. What should we go on to?
Let's
Um,
talk about
Okay, Emmy wants to talk about a topic.
the article about the language people the algorithm.
The words you can't say on the internet.
Yeah.
The words you can't say on the internet. How did it get interviewing? Somehow we ended up with an extra word in that title. So this is what Emily would like to talk about. The words you can't say on the internet. This is an article in the BBC, and the premise of it is that there are certain things that you can't say on the internet without it downgrading you in the algorithm. If you are on TikTok or YouTube, there are creators that are convinced that if you say certain things, you will go down in the rankings because it's against the political agenda of the platforms that they're serving.
It's not just about like the political agenda. It's also about monetization, being monetizable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monetizable content.
Monetizable content. So
Oh,
But what are you saying in that respect? That they will down? Why would they bring them down? Like, you'd think there's a lot of shock docs out there, jocks that they use divisive language, and they get all kinds of responses, all kinds of followers. But
yeah.
but then there's things like some of the things they were talking about in this article were like the Epstein. There's creators in this article quoted as saying that if they did a whole thing on the Epstein files, and they felt like it was hidden. It did not rise to the surface. It dropped to the bottom, and they felt like that was politically driven.
There's a whole thing on a lot of social media sites called being shadow banned.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Shadow ban basically means that without anything happening officially, your posts your posts are being like hidden from other users. And like no one's you can't like look at it. You can't. It's being shadow banned.
So these are creators that are successful at what they do as long as they stay away from certain words. And it's created this language that you guys have seen. All our different generations have already seen this, because they use replacement words in their subtitles, when they're doing their TikToks and YouTubes, when they're talking, and when they're writing their text. You have some examples of replacement words?
Unalive to mean dead. Rape to mean rape. Well,
I'm glad you could come up with those two, because I couldn't think of any on the
yeah.
But there's a bunch of this language. They call it algo speak. And
Getting around the algorithm.
that's right. The idea is to be able to discuss your content without it taking a hit to your ranking, because the algorithm has been tweaked to downplay those discussions, not upplay them, but downplay them. And all of this is under an assumption. The article that we read here in the BBC, their reporters have comments from these platforms that just say this is ridiculous. This absolutely is not the way the algorithm works. And then you've got all these content providers that are like, it's absolutely the way the algorithm works. We've got plenty of examples of this, but because it's art, the examples are squishy. It isn't a logical example. It's, well, maybe it's just a bad video. Maybe it just wasn't a good thumbnail picture. Maybe you used a lousy title for your video, right? That's what you're butting up against. We're talking about your Wi-Fi, to make an analogy. We were talking about your Wi-Fi situation, and the frustrating thing about Katie's modem is that it kind of works. So
Kind of.
yeah, so it's really hard to report. If it would catch fire, it'd be really easy to get it replaced because it's obvious it doesn't work. But because it kind of works, it kind of doesn't work. It kind of does work, and that's where the ambiguity comes into whether they should send you out another DSL modem or another fiber optic modem. That's kind of how this. You can't clarify whether this is a real thing or not. The only people that know would be the platform. They insist this isn't the
And
case.
they have every reason to lie.
And they have every
right.
reason.
A lot.
Well, I'll do you one better. What do you want to bet that if we're not already doing it, we're moments away from letting this algorithm loose on an AI, and the people that should know actually don't. They should know whether there's activities like down ranking because of things that you say in your video, but maybe they actually don't. They have a plausible deniability because they've let an AI build, and they've let the AI make the decisions in the algorithm of what things should be rising to the top and what, because that's the natural tendency. That's what they're hoping for. They want. We used to refer to it as the cream would bubble to the top, and so anything that people really had found value in, the expression would result in views, and the views would result in those things coming to the top, those things that had value, kind of like the Google search results. It only has value because people found value with it, and so it ends up at the top because so many people kept going to it. This is a manipulation of that algorithm based on well, and I'm going to say political, even though I think it's all political, whether it's for money or for fame or for
wars.
Yeah, but it's all political. It's all, how do you use your speech? What are you trying to influence? And that's what we're talking about, is an algorithm that could look at something you're saying and go, no, we don't want people to see that.
The reason that I'm so quick to be like it's for monetization, to be able to sanitize it for money, is because I've seen that happen to a lot of applications just without needing it to be an algorithm. People will get like their speech censored on social media apps, just so that we can appeal to like advertisers. And it's happened to a lot of social media websites that I've used in my life, and I haven't had a very long life. So,
well, to be fair, neither have the social media sites. They're just about as old as you are. But you said censorship, and that's something that we didn't mention, is that they are self-censoring. This is a form of self-censor. They're self-imposing this because they're so fearful of not being relevant, not percolating to the top of the results, that they've chosen to talk in this.
It's the thing about not being relevant is that there are a lot of people that get money from doing that. So it is all about monetization, making sure you get money for it.
Yeah, like what I agree, because the self-censorship thing, what they're trying to do is be seen, and the whole point of being seen is the monetization. That's right. What these complainers, I was trying to say creators, but these crybabies sit at home and make movies all day, videos. But no, these content creators That's what they've made their livelihood out of it. So their goal is to get to the top, because when you're at the top, you can monetize your videos the most. And this is what they're doing: is they're censoring their own speech to guarantee. They're hoping to guarantee to get up to those top echelons to get those advertisers. So you're right. In the end, it's all monetized. Nobody would. I'm not trying to monetize, so I don't care. There's only 6 people watching this video.
Fuck. Fuck sex.
But that's the one that I have trouble with. Is I would think the ones that we're talking about anything that would profoundly induce this effect would have the opposite effect. I would think that anything that would be avant-garde would draw more attention. It would cause them to go up in the rankings. So I would think that diluting your language wouldn't have that effect. So what they're saying is this is all offensive. This isn't passive. This is active censorship. Anyway, it's a very interesting article. Yeah, and the
interesting. I'm very interested in how language evolves around obstacles.
Well, that's a good thing to be curious.
For better or for worse, language has evolved.
That is true.
But
probably for worse. I think it's for worse.
I appreciate that sentiment, because I hadn't thought about that, but it is like language has taken a run around the algorithm, right?
Well, look at the number of new words that are fiction.
A lot of people online will complain about it. But we all know what unalive means. Yes. Which I think is interesting. No matter how much we complain, we know what the thing means still.
Yeah. Unalived. In fact, here from the article, unalived instead of killed. Here's one that not everybody knows. Guns are pew pew. So if you want to say guns in one of these social media posts, you say pew pew instead.
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
Pew?
Yeah. Because pew pew.
Consenting adults have segs with each other. That's
SEGGS.
The 2 G's.
I've also seen that a lot.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And all of it is to thwart an algorithm that the platforms say is not doing any of that behavior.
Right. To thwart behavior that's not being.
Yeah.
Here's my philosophy on whenever a social media app like that says anything is that to not trust it immediately. But I don't know.
Wise.
Almost on principle, I don't trust it.
Wise.
Well, did you have another one you wanted to go through, or did you have more to say on that? Or anybody out there have an opinion on, have you been using segs with your spouse?
I slide into my girlfriend's DM. Do you want to have segs?
Hey, baby, let's segs. Okay. Have we ever covered this one about the hidden cameras?
No.
Watching your driving? Yeah, this is a very interesting and scary kind of thing to think about. But
I do it.
There is a network now collecting pictures of driving and driving data throughout the United States, specifically at border crossings, but speed cameras. All these things are being mashed into a big network. They are meshed into a big network now. These photos are getting associated. Your driving behaviors are being photographed. They're being associated with license plates, and then they're being prompted up at law enforcement, no matter where you might be. So your cars already have dash cameras that are reading license plates and giving information up to a computer screen to a law enforcement officer. I grew up, my father said, you never want a police to follow you for too long because they'll find you've done something wrong. Right. So you want to you You want to turn off when it's convenient and casually.
Yeah.
That's only when I was her age.
Well, it couldn't be more true, because if you get a police car behind you now, the police doesn't even have to pay attention to your behavior. The car is watching your license plate. It's digging through all of the files to associate you as a driver and determine whether you should be flagged for something, whether you should be watched.
Surveillance state.
Yeah, very much so.
When was the last time you had a ticket?
I live here.
Yeah. Long time.
Yeah,
15
I've-
years.
I had a ticket forever.
Do people give tickets here? I don't even.
Yeah.
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 The last ticket I had was here.
Actually, same here.
Yeah.
Why-
They took my license. I now have a Mexican license.
Never got one. Yeah.
Sunday and probably 5 miles speed limit. Policeman turned around. Said we got to police station. Follow him 20 miles. We got there and said, "What is that?" Drug.
Yeah,
Gave us a list of fines.
Grease.
I was gonna say, yeah, the list of fines. I was gonna say I have never gotten a ticket for what I should have been pulled over for, but I have been pulled over twice and gotten tickets for things that made absolutely no sense to me. Yeah, absolutely the same problem. I'm going the same speed as the traffic in front of me and behind me, but I have a gringo license plate.
Yeah.
You look
Twice.
Money. You look like money.
Twice I've gotten a ticket for it.
List of fines.
Whoever
If you
thought
pay
that,
it right here, we'll put you off for half price.
right? Yeah, right. Well, whatever.
Do they want to bribe? Is that what we're in?
You can legalize bribe. Christmas.
Not unusual. Yeah. Okay, and we should stop disparaging police online. I'm sure
joking,
there's some
we're
very
joking.
nice. Yeah, it's all a joke.
We're
We're in a
joking,
different
police.
country, actually.
We're joking, police. We're disparaging the police in this country,
Yeah.
not in your country. We love you.
Police in our country, they do have guns, but typically don't have bullets. So it's a different
You gotta buy
atmosphere.
your own.
You have to
Yeah.
buy their own. They don't discharge nonchalantly because they'd have to buy another bullet.
Yeah.
And just finding it in the first place is very difficult. Can't go to Walmart and buy bullets. Well, guys, what else do we have going on? I'm knocking some of these off of my list here. The
Three
problem is,
bad habits are dealt with.
I was just gonna say some of this stuff I haven't read in a long time. Now I'm not fresh anymore. I've left it in here.
Sure.
Let's see if I can quickly remember what the point of this was. Because SSD technology is failing faster than we expect, and it is because of behaviors and quality of the device. Oh my goodness! Stop doing it. Back to where I'm trying to. I have too many gestures on my keypad. So what they're finding, because of the nature of how it is a magnetic charge, the material breaks down over time. The more often that you magnetize, you demagnetize and magnetize to it, over time that material breaks down. As that material breaks down, you can no longer write to it. A number of these devices, actually, when they fail open, so you can still get your data off of them. You just can't keep putting data into them or making changes to them. So that's kind of nice, except in the last year, it's been determined that the information fades. So you might take that heavily written drive that's not working for you anymore and put it in the cupboard thinking it's a backup, but it's not. You have to persistently keep electricity to it, or the data will fade. This is all fairly recently discovered with SSD, and they're making it worse by. They're actually making it worse by the profit incentive of trying to make things bigger, cheaper. And so they're stacking more of these magnetic together, making it denser. Denser is not a good word in these. Denser means there's more opportunities for failure.
Right.
And so we've gone through SSDs. We're getting popular with this double dense. Triple is when it hit probably the best balance of price, performance, and reliability. But we're in this quad thing now where they're stacking charges in fours. And these drives, you can identify them because they don't have 5-year warranties, they have 3-year warranties. You buy them from Samsung, they have a Q on them instead of an E. They know exactly what they're doing. They know the product but they're selling it, and it's getting much more expensive because we've got a memory source shortage thing going right now too. But this article is not about the memory shortage. I just got a message saying we've got 15 minutes.
We shouldn't have it going on.
No, this
The
is
next one up does.
well, and Jim, we will, but everybody has a memory shortage going on right now. It's just the inventory of supply hasn't dissipated against the demand yet, but it will. And they've got nothing to replace that supply with. And they don't, what they're talking, and the memory shortage, I didn't bring anything to talk about the memory shortage, but it's pretty hot in my mind right now because I'm watching memory prices. And there are laptops that you will make more money pulling the memory out of them and selling them. I mean, it's like stripping cars right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a gray market going on right now. This is happening right now where you can buy adapter slots for your desktop. So you can take your laptop memory and adapt it and use it in your desktop computer. You can buy these
Really?
$15 adapter cards and be able to put your laptop memory in your desktop computer. Because we need more memory. Gamers need more memory, and CAD, they all need more memory. And memory has just skyrocketed because these data centers for AI they've pre-ordered all this memory. And it's a strange commodities market that's going on right now. It's kind of like oil. It's kind of like coffee bean because they have changed the price of memory now with future orders that they have done. They have locked in future orders at a specific price, and it is causing the memory in front of us to go up in price.
I was thinking just like a few weeks ago, like, man, I need some more memory memory for my computer, and then immediately shut that down in my mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Because right now the memory costs more than the computer itself.
Yeah.
I do have a question.
Well, and so does Chester. Let's give Chester. Chester's back. He's going to give us an update on what's going on with his computer. What do you got, Chester?
Well, things have changed a little bit. I'm not quite sure what I did, but the Photoshop CS6 would come up and I could move the pointer around, but I could not load a picture into it. So I went to the startup menu and I opened, let's see, what was the name of it?
Reliability history?
Yes, reliability. And I had stars everywhere.
Okay, that's a sign that you're having a hardware problem.
Okay, most of the stars related to a computer not properly shut down.
Okay, so either that would be indicating that either your computer's freezing and you are the one shutting it down by holding the power button, or
No.
the computer is rebooting itself. It's
Okay,
just out of the blue, it's just rebooting itself.
Okay, well, the way I'm shutting it down is I right click on the start button, and where it says shut down, I shut down.
Yeah, that's the correct way. So
that's what I've been doing, but that's telling me that that's incorrect.
No, it's not. what it's indicating is all the times it has shut down incorrectly. What you just described is a correct shutdown.
That's the only way I've been shutting it down until yesterday
So
and
these
today.
messages aren't about your shutdown. These are about your computer shutting down without you. When you lose power to a computer, say it doesn't have a battery or it has a bad battery and it just crashes to and you have to, I mean, like say you pulled the power plug on it, so you got to plug it back in and turn it back on. That registers as one of those red squares. If your computer completely freezes on you and you have to hold the power button until it goes to a black screen and you have to restart it, that would create one of those red X's. What
I understand that, but that's not what has been happening over the month.
That's what I'm saying, is if you've got those red X's for computer is not shutting down correctly, outside of your control, your computer is crashing. Something, whether you've witnessed it or not, what creates that red X of the computer not shutting down correctly is literally when the computer has not gone through the shutdown that you're describing, the one that you do, where you click on the start menu and you choose shutdown from the menu. That is a successful shutdown, and it does not register in the reliability history. Are you following?
Okay, let me continue.
Okay.
I then went into the control panel to uninstall Windows CS6 and Windows CS5. Windows CS6 uninstalled with no problem. I went to Windows CS5 and the computer froze up
Okay.
when I was trying to uninstall it.
Well, your shutdown flags make me concerned that you should do a general health on your computer. I think I would scan the hard drive. Jim had mentioned earlier you should check your system files. I would do that too.
SFC/scan now.
That's right.
What is it? I can't hear.
SFC. Well, you want to scan your hard drive first for errors. So if you go into the properties of your, in fact, if you go into your hard drive properties, I'm going to try and bring this up on my screen right now.
Hard drive properties, tools.
So I'm going into this PC. There's my hard drive. I hope you guys can see this. This is the window into this PC. My C drive with the right mouse button. I click on that. I choose properties. I go into tools. And here at the top is error checking. Click the error checking button. I'm not going to do it now. It'll authenticate itself. And then it'll have another dialog that you'll have to hit a button to go. And it will check for this is where I would start all of this, Chester, is I would do the hard drive check first. Then, after that's completed, if it's been successful, I double check that your system files are good. And the easiest way to do that is to go to a command prompt.
Go to what?
A command prompt, where you type into a black screen. So if you're looking at my screen right now, you click on the start menu and you type in CMD, and down the column, there's one here that says run as administrator. And that would open up a window. I'm trying to avoid typing in my administrator tab, so I'm not going into administrator mode. And at this command prompt, you would type in S for system, F is files, C for check, SFC, system file check, forward or space, / like the slash used for web addresses. Maybe you don't need search or scan now. SCANNO. Scan now. And that will start a system file check scan. It will give you a result in a text file. It'll give you a path to that file. If you want to look in that file, you could see, but it'll give you a summary result of we found problems and fixed them. We found problems and didn't fix them. We didn't find any problems. And those details are in the file that is mentioned with that summary message. Okay, there'll be a path.
I have a suggestion that when the program is done today, that you get into my computer and go there and see what you find whenever you have some free time.
Okay, Chester. Yeah, I'll get a hold of you offline. Well, I mean, I'll get a hold of you online, but when we're out of this meeting, and we'll set something up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and how are we doing for meeting time? I think we're right at the last few moments here.
Ends in 5 minutes.
Ends in 5 minutes. Okay. I may go ahead, but Mom and Chester are the ones that are on. I'll go ahead and open up this second meet in case we start running over. Opening now. If people want to move over to it, they're welcome to.
I still have a question.
And Emily still has a question.
So, earlier, you informed us all that if you put that memory on an SSD will fade if you don't have power going through it. So you can't just treat it as a backup and put it up on a chip. What are some memory drives that you can treat as a backup?
Oh, well, that's a very interesting and nuanced question these days. Paper has been reliably the best source of data storage.
It's the caveman.
It literally has survived longer than our modern age storage devices. We have watched paper. I mean, think of Dead Sea Scrolls, and you'll have an idea of how very successful paper is in the storage wars. It is very frustrating to have reached this point in my life. I remember in university, one of my first computer classes. I'm 20 years old, and I wrote a paper on most technology, and it was the first time that you could read and write a CD. This is back in the 90s, back in the early 90s. And the whole paper was about these discs that had magnetic material in the plastic, and you'd use a laser to pop a bubble, and the bubble would represent and I remember in the paper, I made a big deal about how this is ridiculously slow, unusable technology. And we went through this huge wave because it could hold so much data and it was supposed to last so long. And now we've reached the other side of this. We don't use these discs at all. They have not lasted. And like the magnetic material has rubbed off of them. The plastic has warped and has faded. These discs have not lasted anywhere near as long as people were expecting them to last. Paper's still here. Paper's still here. Spinning discs, you would think, would be a possible good solution, especially knowing that data is fading away on unpowered SSDs. And when I say unpowered, I'm not an SSD expert in this topic. I know power is important to it. I don't know if rewriting it is important. I don't know that. I don't know if you're supposed to be or at the very least rereading to get that magnetic effect. But what I do know is that when you stack these in these quad, what you're doing is you're maintaining 4 different magnetic values that need to be read to determine in that shift which bit it is being read. It's It's like you've got values in that bit 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one of them is a different amount of magnetism. They're all in the same area. I've got Chester on this one, and Mom's still in the other. Mom and Jim are still in the other. The ability for that to be misinterpreted or to drift is so much higher than 3 or 2 in that same area that you have to compare that fading to a spinning disc that uses like rubber bands in it or seals and dampening and moving parts. So you've got rubber that will dry out and crack, and you've got moving parts that will warp and with time and age. So I don't think there is a good answer to that question right now. What should we be using for back? I think the best answer is you should be backing up in more than one place. Okay? We've had that 3-2-1 rule for a long time where you back it up in 3 different places, you take it off site, you have it in 2 different places in your house, you have one off site, you have 2 different backups, one off site. Now I'm having trouble remembering the rule, but essentially the idea is that I guess in this world, like a general consumer, I would recommend a cloud storage so it's out of your computer in case your computer fails.
That way everybody else can.
Well, that's a whole different issue. An external backup that is not connected to anything, so you like.
No, you're still waiting for your drive to die.
Yeah, you're still waiting for the drive. Well, and more than one drive too.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I use. A redundant RAID
A redundant RAID
is what I use. So the
But,
chances of both hard drives going out is really rare. So if you lose one, you still have all your data.
What's funny though,
I only have a 1 terabyte drive, man.
right? Well, you're in luck because what I've heard is that your 1 terabyte SSD drive, which you use mostly for video games aren't the thing killing SSD drives.
Let's go.
It is constant changes to the system. It's constant edits, installs, and uninstalls. And that is not what's going on with video game consoles and video game PC machines. What they find is that you guys don't waste your time uninstalling and reinstalling. You waste your time playing video games. And the act of playing video games does not lead to the demise of the SSD. It's the changing of data that leads to the demise of SSD. And the quality is an important part in this. The name brand that you're buying hopefully is representing a certain level of quality you can rely on. I have become partial to Samsung drives. I think they're good drives. They incorporate in their design a over partitioning. What's it called? What do they call that? Is it over partitioning? They basically, without your knowledge, set aside space so that as you gobble up life from this drive, it's able to slowly move into other parts of the memory. So it's got additional memory. It's hedging its bets. It's giving you that warranty. So that if you are really abusing this drive, you're going to have to get outside the warranty before it starts to fail. Other drive manufacturers are not doing as good a job. And I had a good example of that on I returned last year from last summer. We're missing. Mom needs to move into this other. Oh, that must be Mom. Thank you. Don't tell her I forgot about her. Yeah. I lost a hard drive. I lost an SSD drive for this computer, the one I use for the computer club, and that tolerances of heat. Yeah, I left it sitting right there in my office. No air conditioning. Well, no, there was air conditioning. Yeah, I think it was use. But regardless, the hard drive ceased to function.
Maybe because it wasn't on. You had it turned off for that long a time.
It could very well be because it just decharged. It could be.
Demagnetized.
I really got to look deeper into the decharge issue because whether it needs to be reading that information all the time or if it just needs. But I would say that if it is reading that information periodically, that's part of the algorithm that's built into a Samsung drive, whereas other drives that may not be the case. And so, in the respect of being able to rely on these SSD drives, it really is going to come down to the name brands you trust, the ones that have good reviews. And as far as backing up, like Emily's saying, I think the best thing you can do is have more than one backup solution. The irony of the RAID is that when you build a RAID, you typically buy all the same drives, all the same size, all the same manufacturer. If you were to have a bad run, then you would expect the drives to fail around the same time.
No.
Yeah, if you were in a bad manufacturing series, you would expect to be having the same, especially if you're doing like a RAID 0, you're doing a complete mirror.
Mine's redundant.
Yeah, redundant.
They're both the same.
They're exactly the same, right? So that means that both drives are putting the exact same data in the drive
At the same time.
at the same time, doing the exact same amount of work. Yeah. So if you had a product that its manufacturing was questionable, it was dying, there's a good chance the next drive would be dying.
Yeah, but for them both to die at the same time is astronomical.
Yeah.
One would
No, they wouldn't.
2 days or so before.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Is if you were having issues like that, hopefully you'd identify them and go, "Wait, I got to change all these drives because
and some number of
they're
border
failing."
agents
Actually,
out
I
of
have
Minneapolis.
2 sets
We do not know if this is the end of what they've been calling.
in the computer, and I think I ran those for 4 years or 5 years. Took them out, put a brand new set in. So they're in a box over there on the side, and they're 7200s
Well,
or 5400s.
the beauty of spinning drives is they're not going to degrade the data because of no electricity.
Right.
Their rubbers are going to degrade because
Yeah.
of climate. And actually, the heat, even though I mentioned my office was air conditioned the majority of the time, heat is one of these issues. We're bringing all these up because of the article that Emily picked over my shoulder. But that's another thing that they want you to be careful with your SSD is operate them within tolerances because the heat affects your. Why I can't find this damn article? It was just in front of me. But the heat is another one of those 3 items that you're doing wrong with your SSD that could be killing its life. Running it in hot conditions. It's almost in the article. They recommend some apps for even monitoring your SSD temperature. And I would recommend that if you're doing an installation, to keep your SSD away from the hot components as much as you can. If you're putting in a drive, you don't have much flexibility in a laptop, but it actually might even be an indicator of why you need a different laptop is because it's getting the drive bay hot enough to make you question whether it's hurting your storage mechanism.
On the laptop, mine sit on a laptop cooler. The ones that I use all the time.
You just justified a laptop cooler. I've never justified a laptop cooler, and that's a great reason is your SSD drive. Yeah.
Or just for your computer so it doesn't melt down, especially down here.
Well, like one of the people have asked me about laptop coolers often throughout the work I've done, and I don't recommend them. I often just think of them as junk because what needs to be cooled down is the CPU. And they can't reach the CPU. Those coolers can't reach it. They can reach the base, but they can't do any significant cooling. So I never recommend them unless you want to have your lap cool. I mean, if it's too hot on your lap, then they're good. But Jim, you bring up a great point. I've never thought about it. Heat has not been a problem with hard drive, with spinning drives. But you bring up a great point for SSDs. That actually really does justify a laptop
And it does
cooler.
cool down your. You can take your hand and run it across the laptop, and see where your heat is on the top.
Yeah.
And when you put the cooler on, let it run for a day or so, and then take your hand. You're still using the computer the same, and run it across it. Those hot spots aren't there anymore.
Well, I hear you. I mean, it's kind of like putting air conditioning in your car.
Yeah,
But it doesn't affect how the car runs.
no, but it powers it. The computer powers it. I put it in the USB
Sure,
port. So
yeah.
it's powering itself. It's
Yeah.
a no-brainer for me. I mean, even in my amp on the stereo, because I have a surround sound system in the house. It's in a cabinet. I have a USB. Well, actually, it's not a USB. It's a plug-in because the amp has an extra plug on the back. I plug the fan into it. It sits on top of my amp and blows air down through the vents. So the amp is always cool.
Yeah. Well, I think those
Been there for 20 years.
those are very sensible decisions to make. I think one of the reasons that I avoid recommending a cooler is because people buy them to solve a problem. The computer's too hot. Still runs slow. Still has problems. And it's like, no, the real solution is to fix your cooling system.
Right.
And it's what has happened is the thermal paste has turned to dust and it's not transferring heat out of the computer the way it should. And no amount of cooling base is going to cool that down. You're going to just have to fix it. Well, I think the SSD drive though, that's a great example of why you should.
I've been running on my modem. The Telmex modem, the Infinium. I have it sitting on top of a laptop cooler.
I did do a Linksys router build like that one time, where I was running WRT, and I put a cooling fan right in the, like right from a CPU. I stuck it into the, so it was just blowing on that. But it's also, they don't have any cooler on those routers.
No.
It's just open air cooling.
So the laptop cooler works good because it's small and it blows through the vents, keeps them nice and cool.
Well, I don't think we're describing most normal people's situation. And we're reaching the end of this meeting.
I don't want to be normal.
Well, Jim, I'm here to say mission accomplished.
Great.
We've done it,
Well
guys.
said. Well said.
Yeah, we've all reached that peak not normalness. Mom, you're still online. Everybody else is gone. I think we're gonna say goodbye. How long have we been here today? Oh, I lost.
Not too long.
Maybe
It's 11:11.
So-
Make a wish.
11:11.
11, 12.
Yeah.
I got it.
So
Okay,
we'll
guys.
see you next
I love
week.
you, Mina.
Love you, Mina.
Bye.
Love you. Miss you. Want to see you.
Until next
Sandy.
Bye-bye.
Tuesday, everybody tech on.
Next
Check
Tuesday.
on.
All right. Check on.
Take care, amigo.
Have a good one.
See you, Jim.
See ya.
Yeah.
We will see you guys later.
Until next